left, nothing safe, not even a crust. All aboard for a fat boy trip, and you can call me captain. Don't forget the paper plates and the stack of napkins. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. Pizza party, gonna have a good time. Pizza party, have a sip of red wine. Yeah!
Ciao, paisans! Holy cow! We made it! Do you realize this is episode 12? Mr. Goodman has been kind enough that he hasn't kicked me off yet. Oh my God, it's so good to see all of you. I cherish these moments. I look forward to them. I miss you. I think about you when I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning when I think the world's going to end. And speaking about the world ending, friends of Spaghetti Land, tonight, that's what we're talking about. What happens when the mushroom cloud takes over the sky and all the things that's been underground for so long comes to the surface and takes on America? That's right. We have the genius of Captain Reed Sanfilippo tonight. In addition, we have Cousin Marty and Dr. Metal ringing in the holiday season with cheer and weirdness. Oh my God, we're going to have a blast. My good friend Elena's on the 1 and 2s, spinning up all of this craziness. My friend Levi, he just called. He had something come up. He can't make it tonight. But please, 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 if you do anything with that money burning in your pocket, support my good man Levi, because he's got a banger of a joint that just hit Kickstarter. Pow! Right out of the gate. It already cleared. Oh my God. You bet your life there's going to be a fight. You bet your life, because the hills have eyes. That's right. It's a weird occurrence he's got going on. Oh my God, an occurrence at Howling Crater live on Kickstarter right now. Check it out. You're crazy if you don't sign up for that. It's awesome. All weaving into our theme of radiological madness this evening here on Joey Royale's Pizza Party. What the heck is Joey Royale's Pizza Party? Well, unless you've been living under a rock, I'll tell you what it is. It's to celebrate this wonderful, marvelous game, Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game, Mutant Crawl Classics, and all the wonderful stuff that goes along with it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Hey, can I show off for a second? Do you mind? I dedicate this all to you, so I'm not really blowing my own horn. I'm celebrating this together as we all come around the table this December. Check it out. It arrived. My Goodie Award. I couldn't do it without all of you guys. I love you. Look, Ma, I finally made it. Woo! Down in the Mozzarella Mausoleum, all the way to Hollywood, baby. We're cooking with oil, olive oil. And Reed will tell us about olive oil later on. Well, let's jump right in, because I want to make time for everything. And you know how I get. I start going, boom this way, boom that way. Next thing you know, it's 8:59, and Elena's saying, get off the air, you nut. We got somebody coming on after you. So let's get going, shall we? Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Joey Royale's Crypt of Cool. What did I... Oh, man, I picked up some stuff. Well, first of all, something came in the mail from a friend of ours, all the way up there in Canada. You know him, and if you know him, you love him. Marzio, baby. Look what I got in the mail. I'm wearing this to Christmas dinner. Death Slaves of Eternity. Look at that beautiful t-shirt right there. I love this. I love the game. Thank you very much, Marzio. My cousin Mars up there in Canada. Also, man, holy cow. Stop by the Book Barn. Had a great find. Check this out. Just sitting there on the shelf. Boom! Manly. Boom! Manly. Boom! manly. Woo! I can smell the pine trees of Shutter Mountain coming through these. I got to thank Big Mike Curtis for turning me on to Manly Wade Wellman. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't read him yet, this guy, man, these are books, these are stories for any season. You can curl up by the Christmas fire, or you could read one of these on the beach. These are just sick American fantasy. All right, check these out. Very nice. I was very happy to find those for like next to nothing. Speaking of Mike, I pulled this one off the shelf to go along with the mushroom cloud hanging over this episode. Come on. You can't go wrong with this one. Frozen in Time. Welcome to the Ghost Ice, ladies and gentlemen. This clocks in at about 20 pages. I'm telling you, they're giving this thing away for $9.99. There is so much adventure in here. You can play this many different ways. There's a sandbox element. There's a funnel element. There's a level 1 element. You can play as a barbarian and watch a bunch of them get killed like it's a funnel. Or you can just go in with your regular adventurers. You got robots. You got cavemen. You got yetis. You got dinosaurs. You got everything. This one right here, you cannot go wrong. Whether you're a beginner's judge or a veteran judge or an in-between judge, this is classic. Pick it up on the Goodman Games store. Have you seen the store lately? They did a beautiful redecoration of it. You got to check it out. You can get the store too. Boom. Great stocking stuffer right here. Joey Royale's Darkest Dice. Boom. Ninja City, One of Us, and a whole bunch of other beautiful stuff. This is great. Oh, and it's my friend Ben, who is a friend of Dr. Metals. It is his favorite DCC module of all time. We'll have to talk about that later on. Very nice. And look, I got to share this. Boy, this felt so good. Got a package the other day. Guess who the package is from? The General himself, General Mills. All right? I won a contest. Oh, I'm cleaning up over here. Look what I got. Brute, Blueberry, Count Chocula. Oh, and this guy right here. You know this guy, don't you? I missed him. You can just smell the Frankenberry on him. I won. I submitted, and I got my Cause official Monster Cereal figures. Guess what? I forgot last month to do it. Started up. Guess what? We're starting up for the next episode. We're going into 2012. My mask is flying off. We're going into 20. I'm getting crooked over here. I'm so excited. 2023. This is the first started up of 2023. You know what to do. Say it with me, boys and girls. Start it up. Woo! Frankenberry. That's your assignment, all right? Look, he's got the thing sticking out of his head. He's got the pressure gauge. He's got the chains holding up his pants. He's got the spoon. He's all ready for a good time. And I was going to share this because of Levi and the occurrence in the crashed UFO. I don't know if I shared this last time. Cousin Marty thought I shared this in one of the episodes. If I didn't, I've been getting deeper into this. And here's high strangeness right here. A CE5 handbook. You know what CE5 stands for? Close encounter. All right, so we're talking about close encounters of the 5th kind. This is a guidebook to summon UFOs with your mind. No joke about it. There's no humor in this one. Look, you got everybody sitting out there in a circle, drinking kombucha, looking up at the stars, sending the waves, calling occupants of interplanetary craft. You ever hear that song by the Carpenters about contacting the UFOs? Oh, watch that one after the show. That'll get you. Woo-hoo. All right, that's what I got. Oh, and I got to do one music thing too. Come on. Talk about out of this world. Mott the Hoople. Give them a shot if you haven't. I love these guys. All the young dudes. Roll away the stones. These guys, they got the boots. They got the hair. They got the moves. And this goes perfect along with a wood panel basement, some Nog Champa, and a D20 rolling across the table. You heard it here, folks. Mata Hoople. Can't beat him. So that's what we got. Now, let's go into a wisdom check. You see, I'm kind of pressing fast forward because I really want to talk to my friends and read, okay? Here we go. Here. Our good friend Marcus Aurelius is going to share with us just something brief, okay? Here we go. You cannot go wrong with this one. Ready? Listen, friends, especially around the holiday season. When people injure you, ask yourself what good or harm they thought would come from it. If you understand that, you'll feel sympathy rather than outrage or anger. Your sense of good and evil may be the same as theirs or near it, in which case you have to excuse them. Or your sense of good and evil may differ from theirs, in which case they're misguided and deserve your compassion. Is that so hard? When one of your knucklehead friends get all worked up and they start throwing stones, take a second, step back, and realize they might be going through something. Take a breath. Don't join in that. Have compassion. This is the season for compassion, if there ever was one. Help each other out. Life is way too short to argue, especially with people that you love. And now we will consult the Garbage Pail Kid Tarot together. Brothers and sisters, reach out your hands to the screen, because that's what it's there for. Channel all your energy as we pull one card off the top to guide us in our creative endeavors for the month of December. And here we go. Push. Boom. The tarot has spoken. Ooh, tonight we have the Page of Wands reversed, and it looks like we have a new character that has never been seen before in the history of Garbage Pail Kids. Let me just pull it up here to guide us in our way. Okay, here we go. This is Potato Chip. He's new. Look at him. That's old Potato Chip with all, look at the art on those, huh? Aren't they beautiful? So he was reversed. Reversed. The Page of Wands, when reversed, suggests you're dealing with disappointment. A creative idea that you're passionate about has hit some snags. Anybody hit any snags lately? Don't be too hard on yourself. Your inexperience may lead to missteps, but they're ultimately learning opportunities. Refine your plan and try again. I was just having a conversation with somebody today at work, somebody who's just starting out in my job field, a young teacher, and I told him the greatest lessons I have ever learned are from my greatest mistakes. So keep on chugging along. Don't give up. There's always hope, and every mistake is a gift if you look at it the right way. And that's from Potato Chip, the Garbage Pail Kid, this month on The Pizza Party with Joey Royale. Speaking about pizza, I smell something cooking upstairs. Elena, can we let my cousins in? We got Cousin Marty, Dr. Metal. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Guys, you with me?
Hey. Joey, can you hear me?
Hey, Quesadich, how's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Got my eggnog. We're going to drink some salute to you, Joey.
Oh, salud. Look at that. Look at that beautiful mug we is. You got a wolf over there?
And the wolf cup.
Wow, there you go. Salud, bud. Salud to the nog.
Golden eggnog.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be. Don't trust the silver eggnog.
No.
That stuff will kill you.
Amen,
They
brother.
tried. Believe me, they tried. My Gumati tried to give me that once, and I ended up, it wasn't good. Dr. Metal, you're looking festive and fresh today. How you doing?
It is the season, my friend. Even Eddie's dressed up tonight.
I see Eddie in the background. Somebody needs to feed that poor guy.
It is the season.
So what do you guys got for me tonight? I hope
What do you want,
empty-handed over here.
Dr. Metal? You want to go first? You want old cousin Marty to go first?
I'll go first. I'll give you some time to prep in your
I'm
Energizer Bunny costume.
All right, Cousin Marty with the VHS over here, selling carpets in the Holland Tunnel, going over to the Hoboken. What do you got for me?
Oh, I thought Dr. Metal was going first.
Oh, Dr. Metal, then you go first, all right?
Oh,
I'll go backwards.
Okay, it is the season. Dr. Metal's in the house with his top 10 metal classics for Christmas. Now, this is you would think maybe there's a few metal songs for Christmas. Now there's a ton of them, but I'm gonna go with some of the things I'm looking for are not just somebody singing a song we know that we've heard at church.
Sure.
Something. So I wanted to go with some of the classics, something new, something old. Now I'm gonna go coming in at number 10. The first Christmas metal song I remember hearing. Our friends, you know and love them, Spinal Tap with Christmas with the Devil. The first one I could think of. Coming in at number 9, a newer band. Not new anymore, but our friends of Amon Amarth with, well, of course, Viking Christmas. Now, okay, what Vikings, Odin, they're pagans. Who doesn't love Christmas? I guess Vikings do now too. Anyway, for the Viking berserker in your life, there you go. Listen to that one at midnight mass. Number 8, one of Cousin Marty's favorites. I've heard it at the family party. Your friends and mine, Guar, with Stripper Christmas Summer Weekend.
Noni hates that one, but we love it.
It's also a good one for July 4th too. So who knows?
It's a song for all seasons.
I know they're so prolific. Coming in at number 7 on my list, Christopher Lee from his album A Heavy Metal Christmas, 1, not 2, with the Yuletide classic Jingle Hell. Who doesn't want to listen to Saruman, Count Dooku, and Dracula himself singing in harmony on Yuletide carols backed by power metal?
Oh, beautiful, Dr. Metal. That's why you're here.
He's got a few albums there, the old Christopher Lee before he.
Yeah, he was pretty prolific at the end.
Prolific.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, coming down the list. We're almost to the top 5 or so. Number 6, the metal god himself, Rob Halford, with Get Into the Spirit. He's got a great Christmas record. It's got a little more of the classic flavor, but Get Into the Spirit has that metal god in painkiller mode. So it's a really good one to kick it off.
He can't do wrong in my book. I love that guy. He gets better with age.
So then we're getting into the top. This is where you start getting into the cream of the crop.
Okay.
Coming in at number 5. I didn't even know this one existed, but it's the song that I needed in my life. Reunited, and it felt so good. Ronnie James Dio and Tony Iommi doing God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
Get out of here.
And I know there's a lot of people on here. This crowd is so cool that there's a lot of people that really like the Dio version of Sabbath better than the OG. I've heard it from some of the people. And this one, it's them doing that classic with a Sign of the Southern Cross vibe, if that's your jam, from the Heaven and Hell Mob Rules era Sabbath. Gratefully, I've got to see both versions of Sabbath.
Wow.
Back in the day. So that's coming in. Now we're coming into the cream. I'm losing count because I'm so excited that I found that song.
That's why we only do 6. Top 6.
All right, this one's a good one. It's our good friends Venom. Who doesn't like Venom?
Cousin Marty gives me a hard time about Venom. I love Venom. I go to bed listening to Venom. We were getting in the car. Cousin Marty had some bad words about Venom.
Not a Venom fan.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to go with Kronos and the boys on their classic Black Xmas. Christmas sounds bad. People hate the Xmas thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's pretty much the metal way to say Christmas. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's like putting an umlaut over everything.
I like that they even took the effort to make a holiday song.
Yeah.
Why?
So all right, so we're into the last couple. Now here's one that's kind of a cool one. It's Slayer. It's a children friendly program, so I won't use the modifier that you used to announce Slayer. But it's Slayer and Wham. It's a mashup of Last Christmas and Angel of Death. You didn't know you needed it in your life, but you can't get it out of your head.
Wait, I'm sorry. Slayer and Wham.
Some genius took Last Christmas, I Gave You My Heart, but put Tom Araya's vocals over it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And if
Slayer-
you're really,
Oh, go ahead.
it's if you're really into it, there's a follow-up single of Seasons in the Abyss and Careless Whisper put together. So
I mean, Slayer, Wham, Slam. Perfect.
Slam. There you go.
you know,
Slam.
if
Bada
you're-
bing, bada boom. Let's look
Rudolph,
at these.
Rudolph dragging the sleigh. Get it? Hey.
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 Hey, don't get your tinsel and a twizzle there, Joey. Calm down a little bit.
So I'm gonna round it out. Now we're down to the top two. So this is where it gets really good. My number two, another one of the early Christmas metal classics. It's our good friend the King Diamond, with No Presents for Christmas. Also
Classic.
with an X.
Classic.
You know, and that one's good because there aren't enough people out there telling you that you really have to be good. The King's out there telling you that so this was a good one for those parents that still believe in coals and sticks in the stockings.
He was very good to his grandmother too, I heard.
Yeah, so King Diamond's out there touring right now with Merciful Fate. If you got to see him, I'm very jealous.
Please stop.
I'm
Dude's
gonna
probably
call
75.
Delilah. I'm gonna call the Delilah request line and put that one on there. The King Diamond. Hey, Delilah.
Is she still around?
Oh yeah, she's upstairs right now. She's playing in the living room next to the tree with the bubble lights. Absolutely.
I could do a whole hour on that.
Oh, you know what? This is why I love. There's many reasons I love Luau Lou, but he brought up a classic right here. This is my number one. Christmas at Ground Zero by Weird Al. Perfect, on theme for the night. Lou, I love you, buddy. Beautiful.
Every December 1st, I turn on Vandal's Ode to the World.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's
that's
all.
a good one.
That's what I listen to.
Dr. Metal, those
though-
were classics right there. That took a lot of research, didn't it?
That's
I
fantastic.
got one more. I got a couple more. These are a couple honorable mentions.
Sure.
Maybe not metal, but I still like the Waitresses song they did for Christmas. That one's a classic. You can't go wrong with the Ramones. Merry Christmas, Mommy and Daddy Don't Fight Tonight, I believe is the title. But I'm going with my number one because who better to announce the Son of God than God himself? It's our good friend Lemmy with Run Run Rudolph. Which I think it's him. I think it's Slim Jim Phantom of Stray Cats.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful solo record of rockabilly classics by Lemmy, and Lemmy is God, so that's got to be the number one. So
I got to throw in the Joey Royale pick also. It's always been one of my favorites. Christmas in Hollis. You can't go wrong. Anytime that comes on, I rip out the cardboard, I throw it on the ground, and I do a backspin every single time. Mama's cooking chicken and collard greens. I love that song.
Classic.
And I'm gonna throw out an oddball one. The lead guitarist of Dr. Metal's band, his family every year listens to the Bonanza Christmas record. Lauren Green, Michael Landon, Dan Blocker, the entire cast. You've not lived till you've heard Colonel Adama from Battlestar Galactica do Christmas up.
I'll tell you, no joke, no kayfabe here. I love Bonanza. I'm a big fan.
Shocker.
You got to track down that Christmas album. It's
you got to write this, start a little fight Bonanza. Hop Lee cooking the food. All right. Thank you, Dr. Metal.
Marty,
now,
what you got?
What do you got over there, cousin? Look at him. He just recovered from soap poisoning.
Yeah. When what to my wonderful eyes should appear, but Uncle or Cousin Marty with VHSs throughout the new year.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So these are my
that was beautiful.
I've been thinking about it all day.
I
My
bet you
Christmas
have.
picks. We start off with the faces of death. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. But
Perfect for the kids.
I had to hit him with the put perfect babysitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Faces of
That's perfect.
Three Christmas picks for the night. We got Silent Night, Deadly Night, classic cover, one of the best death scenes with the antlers. I'm not a big slasher guy, but this is where it's at.
Iconic VHS cover, one of the most iconic of all.
Classic.
I believe in episode 2 of Ravioli for Randy, we did discuss it for sure.
How many sequels did that one have, Marty?
I believe 3 or 4, or maybe 5. I don't know. There's a lot. I'm sure chat will let us know. But second pick, a big clamshell jingle all the way. Put the cookie down. Classic Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Phenomenal. This is my go-to when it comes to like real deal, mainstream Christmas movies. Jingle all the way. Big shell.
I like the clamshells.
Hey, get well soon. Hey, Sinbad's not doing too well too. So
get well, Sinbad. Better. My sister told me that the other day.
What if I told you, Joey, there was a Home Alone before Home Alone?
I've heard rumors of this, Cousin Marty. You were talking about this at Sunday dinner.
A year before Home Alone came out, a little French movie called Deadly Games, or not Deadly, Deadly Games. Dial Code Santa Claus came out. It is the French Home Alone. It's darker, it's better, it's beautiful. It's one of the best movies ever made. Highly, highly recommend.
I will attest to this. After Cousin Marty told me about this, I was able last weekend, Marty, to watch the first half hour of it before it was taken away, and it is amazing. There is no doubt that Home Alone ripped this off.
Yes, 1,000% ripped this movie off, and it's better. Brutal too, because there's the I'm not going to spoil it for anybody or the squeamish in the audience. I don't believe it's rated R. I believe it's unrated, but.
I mean, it's a kids' movie. It's definitely
a French kids movie
of a kids' movie.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's like cloudy, like dreamlike effect through the whole thing.
Yeah. Speaking of it, it's like a Wham. Yeah, it's got that Wham overlay. Yeah.
Without the Slayer soundtrack.
Right. Wow. So there you go. That would be a cool adventure, like a Home Alone adventure.
Yeah, you can play one.
Yeah.
With I wrote one, Joey.
Did you really? What's it called?
It is called Thirsty for More.
Thirsty for More, ladies and gentlemen. Where can we find that one?
Drive Through RPG, I believe it's probably there.
There we go. Thirsty for More.
You got me on
Marty.
You got me on the spot, Joey. I wasn't trying to plug anything right now.
Oh, that's what we do. We're like Cy Sperling. We're plugging everything over here. I'm also a client. Look, I'm getting there. Woo!
Yeah.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. Now, if he's still with us, if he hasn't left completely, everybody, I ask you now to get ready, to get fresh, because this is somebody I've been wanting to have on this show for a very long time. Oh, man! Yes, that is coming through loud and proud tonight. The Old Spice is in the pores. The Red Bull is in the veins, and my new friend, Mr. And it is an honor to say this tonight, Mr. Reed Sanfilippo is in the house. Elena, would you let the good man in this evening? Yes. Such a kind person. Reed, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Can't complain too much. I mean, I could, but it'd take a long time.
That's what we're here for. You are the guest. You are VIP. So you complain all you want, bud. But in all seriousness, it is an honor to have you on the show. Before we get into it, I want to tell you why it's such an honor. You have done wonderful things for the hobby. You've done wonderful things with America. But what for me personally, because I like to talk about myself, that's why I got a show in my basement. No, but in all seriousness, Crawling Under a Broken Moon was one of the first. So I bought a whole bunch of zines at once with the meager money I had at the time, and that was one of them. and it completely blew my mind because I was a newcomer to the hobby. I started late in life, Reed, and I didn't know about Gamma World or any of that sci-fi stuff on the gaming table, and that was my first experience with the post-apocalypse at the gaming table. So thank you for bringing that to my life.
You are more than welcome, and thank you very much for having me on the show. I'm just glad that the shenanigans I decided to put down on paper are enjoyable to other people besides me.
It's I mean, this is like America is canon now when it comes to post-apocalypse. I picked up that book, and so it says, survival guide, and it is a survival guide. I open up the first couple of pages, and like I'm saying, holy cow, if they find us 100 years in the future, somebody could mistake it for an actual survival guide. I wrote down some of the ingredients that I would start looking for. The tomatoes and the shroomer steaks. This is like I'm reading through a survival guide that is also a game book. The amount of detail you put in this is nothing short of genius, sir.
Well, thank you very much. And while the majority of the content of America is sort of my fault, I have to say that you really do need to take a look at for each of the books, all of the additional authors that have helped me along to kind of round out some of my thoughts
Yep.
and some of their thoughts that I've been able to help round out into America. It has been a joint effort by all means. I may have created America to begin with, but there's been plenty of people who have gotten onto the America train with me and have ridden the weird rails all the way over those purple lava mountains, man.
Yeah. It's so versatile. You could do DCC, you could do MCC. America stands alone as its own thing. This is so neat because it's a jackknife. Well, it's much more than, there's like a million blades on this jackknife. So this is 288 pages.
Mm-hmm.
What was that first? So what I'm going to ask you this because I really try to help all of us as creators have the confidence to start with that little seed and let it blossom into something that big and to not give up. What was that first little seed that blossomed into this monolith?
Okay, well, I was at a friend's place, and we had just finished up, or I think we were waiting for someone to show up. We were playing some Castles and Crusades, and he's like, "You really should take a look at Dungeon Crawl Classics." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Why should I?" And he started explaining a few things, and I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds very much like what the madness that I experienced when I first got into role playing at a very early age." And already kind of set up in a book. So I borrowed I think it was the second printing, maybe third printing, probably second printing. And read through it, brought it back, and I said, "Yeah, this is pretty awesome." And he's like, "Now you should take a look at the zines." And I'm like, "What do you mean the zines?" And he's like, "Well, just like back in the old punk rock days, there's a zine culture going around." And he showed me the first few issues of Crawl. And it just kind of clicked with me because when I was thinking of reading through DCC, I'm like, wow, this would be the place where I could finally tell my Thunder the Barbarian goes crazy style type game I wanted to run. And then I saw the zines and I'm like, well, I worked in creative services for 11 some odd years. So, the Adobe stuff was like, back of my hand.
Yeah.
And I'd already worked with printers. I knew how to order print stuff and all that stuff. And I'm like, I got everything I need. So I'm like, instead of writing an adventure that I could run with my friends, what if I just start putting it out as a zine? And that was the first issue of the Crawling Under a Broken Moon, in which a lot of the art there was actually my own art. So if you look at the first few issues of Crawling Under a Broken Moon, and you're going, who did some of this horrible art? It was me. I did all that horrible art.
Love it. Man, that adds so much to it. That's what makes it a zine.
Right. And then after a few issues, I was able to get some people to come on and write some articles and do some art. And it just kind of started snowballing from there. About issue 15, I'm like, this is kind of going somewhere.
Mhm.
Or actually, it was like 13, and so 15 and 14 and 15 was a 2-issue special with the adventure for Welcome to Dinotastic Park,
Mhm.
and I realized that for this I needed to have psychic um, um, cavemen, and I realized there's no psychic system, there's no
Yeah.
psionics.
Yeah.
So in between the 2 issues, I decided not to sleep. And in 2 months' time, I wrote 2 different issues and an entire book called Mind Games, and put that out. And that is the first psionic system that was put out for Dungeon Call Classics. And so far, it seems to have stuck around. I don't know if anybody else has really done a full psionic supplement for DCC, but it's still around. You can still get it, and because I needed it for issue 15. So in 1 month, I put out this silly book, and I'm like, putting out the book wasn't that hard. So I started looking into how to do a Kickstarter and all that kind of stuff, and I decided that I was going to end the zine at issue 18, and did a Kickstarter to do the America Survival Guide with
Yes.
2 different covers because everyone seems to like alternate covers.
Of course.
And if we made enough money, there'd be some adventures. And if we made enough money after that, I would do the Twisted Menagerie manual as a monster manual because I'm a firm believer that you got to have a monster manual.
Oh yeah.
And so I went ahead and put out the Kickstarter. It went pretty darn well. I think it was 17 and change $1,000 that
Whoa.
we raised, and that got us the 2 covers of the American Survival Guide, and it covered a couple adventures, and it covered the Twisted Menagerie manual. And I spent the better part of a year and a half to get it all out,
Beautiful.
and then just kind of started going from there.
So Dr. Metal, I know, he's talking about it in the chat, and I was also going to bring this up. Read the patrons. Can we just talk about the patrons? Dr.
No.
Metal. Can you even pick a favorite patron?
No, like when this came out, I bought both covers. I couldn't pick between the two, so I bought both. And that's the thing that kills me is the patrons are so amazing. I'm like, how do you pick just one? You've got Buddy O'Burger,
Yeah,
who's like a Frisch's big boy that they worship, which is amazing. The hooks that you can get out of a cult that worships fast food. Elmos, twisted take on some puppet character from possibly some children's show.
yeah,
Exactly.
Kiz, a personal favorite of the doc.
Intergalactic god of rock and roll.
Even Santa appears
Santa.
as a patron. I
A
mean, what's
tattooed
not
Santa.
to like?
A tattooed Santa. Neon Lord.
Yes,
Have you experienced America yet?
I
know
have.
Post-apocalyptic fan.
This guy that's on my screen sent me a bunch of books, so I've been trying to crack them. I was literally moving when I got them in the mail, so I have yet to like look through them, but like all in total. But what I've looked through, I love so far. Yeah,
I know you're a big post-apocalyptic guy.
I am a bit of a post-apocalyptic guy. Yeah,
There are different flavors of post-apocalypse.
There
and
are.
this one is
Let's talk about that.
yes.
I was good. That's on my note sheet right there. Are you looking on my desk?
yeah. You got like your Fallout like apocalypse, right? Like after the bomb type. Then you got like the Thundar the Barbarian and anything in between, really. Like right as the bomb and then like millions of years after.
Reed, do you recommend? I wanted to get your opinion on this. I'm a big collector of Appendix N. I was never really exposed. I wasn't, I read The Hobbit and stuff when I was a kid, but Appendix N, DCC really turned me on to that as I got into the game. So what's something you could really recommend that was a great inspiration for you? Is there a particular author or a series?
as much as I grew up reading quite a bit because both of my parents were avid readers of sci-fi and fantasy, so I grew up with going to the used bookstores, saving up my nickels and dimes, and getting books. There wasn't a lot of post-apocalyptic stuff that I was really exposed to,
Yeah.
other than Hero's Journey.
Yes. Yes.
That that's kind of like the classic that I got into. For me, it was a visual cornucopia of the 80s post-apocalyptic movies that were sparked off by Mad Max and then ripped off terribly from Mad Max, and then some of the other spin-offs that actually had their own story and were actually really good. That helped form some of my stuff. That, and also the Saturday morning cartoons.
Sure.
And it that was where I feasted on my desires for a post-apocalyptic world. And I have to admit, I am a big Fallout fan. So Fallout definitely shaped some of the ideas I had for it as well. But I've always been a kitchen sink kind of person
Sure.
when it comes to my post-apocalypse. So I much prefer having everything available, and maybe not everything's going to be on screen at once, but it's there. It could show up at any given time.
Now, Cousin Marty, I think you are also a big fan of those knockoffs, right? Oh, hell comes to Frogtown.
Yep. Yep.
I'm a huge anything Italian movie ripoff is phenomenal to me anyway. But yeah,
Cousin,
like
Cousin Marty, what's the one where the post-apocalyptic love story?
Post-apocalyptic love
You've
story.
gotta have it. Mid 80s, late 80s.
Isn't it like Radioactive Dreams or something?
It's like something USA or something. It's
America 3000.
Yes.
There you go. Of course,
I do have America 3000. Actually, it's that one's really good. That's got that Turbo Kid where the guy falls into the presidential bunker and like learns English with like a ABC's book.
Nice.
Read something that caught my eye.
Yes.
The feral urchin.
Yes.
Dust for all my lost boys. That is beautiful.
Yeah, basically that from the Road Warrior, where you've got the kid who runs around in furs, growls a lot, and has the lethal boomerang, right?
Yes.
I took him and then I mixed him with the Lost Boys, and that's what happened.
That is what happened.
Now,
man.
mind you, I believe that's one where I was not entirely. It was a joint effort. It was a joint effort. It's one of these things where some of the stuff came from me, and then some of the stuff started with some other people, and we all just discussed it a lot. So I do not want to say that every single thing that's come up has always been exactly my 100% creation.
Oh, sure.
I was part of the creation on some of this stuff, but some of the stuff came out of stuff in the zine, requests. And I do remember for the feral urchin, it was like, well, I don't want to have hobbits, so what do we want to do instead of hobbits?
Yeah.
Having this conversation. And I would love to be able to say that I remember every single conversation and every author that had contributed to each of the individual ideas, but I don't, and I feel kind of bad about that, but I also realize I'm old, so you'll have to forgive me for that. But whoever it was who I had this conversation with, and you remember, awesome. I'm glad that you can still remember, and thank you very much for your contribution.
It's the thought that counts, Reed.
Yeah.
But listen, everybody out there doing stuff, ask for help. Get some more people around the table.
I could not have done it by myself at all, period. It would have been a couple zines and it would have just died off.
Yeah, and it helped. I mean, it really adds to the creative fire, right? You need more logs. You can't just feed that all yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for help out there. You got friends. We're all around the table here. And anybody who's working on stuff, let us know. We'd love to have you on the show to share some new things in the new year. And I know, Reed, you were prolific. You were always chipping away at stuff. So, but you've also been playing. And I know that both Cousin Marty and you participated in the Jerry Stenick Memorial Crawl for the Cure last weekend. How did that go? Now, Marty, you were in Luau Lou's game, right?
Yeah, this is I found this, it fell off the back of a truck, and then Lou Alu said, "Hey, you want to play this game?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll figure it out." Joey talks about these math rocks and stuff, so I found this copy and I got to play it for the first time, and it was pretty cool.
Is that a slipcover on that one?
Of course,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Man, I'm jealous. I love that pink on there.
yeah. The slipcover it's really heavy duty too. It's like hella thick.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
And Reed, you played an America game.
Yes, yeah. Julian Bernick was kind enough to run Bad Motorfinger, and I was able to play, which is kind of nice to be able to kind of see things from the other side of the screen when you're looking at your own stuff.
Yes, I have never played one of my own games. What is that experience? What did you get from this session?
I got that I'm glad that I write everything down in rule books so I don't have to remember things.
There's a lot in this book, but once again, it's modules, so you can also pick it up and play. That's what I like about this. I'm actually using your book. My son is 12, and he has a couple of friends come over every week, and they wrapped up. What did we wrap up? We wrapped up Ravenloft, and then we wrapped up Sailors with a new group of friends, and now he's like, "Dad, I want to do some post-apocalyptic stuff." So we're moving from town to town. It's kind of a smorgasbord of influences. But what really helped me as they go from town every week, it's a different town. It's almost like a serial, like a show.
Right.
And your laws, punishments, and resources tables I've been using frequently. So thank you for those. I love that, especially the laws, because that's what things can really blossom around that.
Cool. The other thing I'd recommend is maybe taking a look at the American Road Atlas, because it's all about moving from one place to the other as far as like your resources and such.
I want to check that out, particularly. I saw that. I was looking at that this week, particularly too, because I think I can work in me and Tim Deshane's game, One of Us, with that, the traveling sideshow hitting the circuit. And I think that's the thing, man. This is like this branch. You've built something that can branch out to so many things. It's not just here is what you have to play. And I love that. Those are some of my favorite products. Games that don't tell you what you have to do. Games that give you the space to build your world in addition to what the author intended.
I would always prefer to write things like interesting places to die, where I give you a tidbit about a place and let you kind of fill in the blanks yourself, or put adventure hooks in, or that kind of thing, than honestly write full modules, because I don't use full modules. I'm an improv judge, so I'd much rather have a whole bunch of tools and random tables to kind of pull from whenever I need them, versus having a sort of structure. So if you're wondering why there hasn't been a whole slew of Umerica modules, it's because it's not kind of the way I think as a game master. So that's why I often have another person be the primary author for an adventure, and I just sit there as a content author, a content editor, going, "This is great, but let's put a little more Umerica wax on this." And I'll make suggestions until it gets gonzo enough and brings the awesome enough that I feel that it really kind of meshes with the rest of the universe.
Yeah, I'm quickly becoming a table guy, just because I like to run it off the cuff. Sometimes not having the time to sit down and plan a night's adventure is very beneficial, because as we know, you write everything down, you might as well just throw it in the throw it in the garbage.
Right.
Because I got these crazy 12-year-olds that just want to burn everything down, take all the gold, and build super weapons.
Of course.
Hey, we were those 12-year-olds.
Absolutely.
That's how
who
I still play.
The bet. Listen, I'll tell you this, everybody out there in Spaghetti Land. You want to go to the Judge Gym and work out your adjudication muscles? Play with kids.
Yep.
They will throw you through a loop. They will make you do things you never thought you could do. The mental gymnastics of playing with unbridled youth. Woo! That'll get you going, man. That'll give you a lesson.
I always feel bad when I play WHPA and I hit somebody with a sock full of quarters, like every time.
Oh, the kids gang. Yeah, they get it pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. But
I think the first time, didn't we, Dr. Metal, in the first game, didn't we like hip check one of them in the shirt, or what kind of shop is it there?
Think I hit one of them with a van.
So I think last game you hit one with a van. First
Yeah.
game, didn't we shoulder check one in a
You
shop
broke
and
his
stop?
arm.
Yeah, we broke his
think
arm at the Stop and Shop.
You broke his arm and then you stole his
It-
stepdad's El Camino.
And then I
Drove it
shamed,
into the cemetery.
I shamed him for being a fan of the show.
Yeah.
Yep. All in the night's work, folks. That's why role-playing games are so fun. Reed, what did you start out with? Did you start out as a kid rolling the dice?
No, I was born a full adult and played games. No, I met Gary Gygax when I was 4.
Whoa! Really?
And yes.
That's cool.
TSR was very, very new, and they were looking for an accountant. And my father had just graduated with a CPA degree, and so he brought me over because, like I said, we lived in Elkhorn. We knew about Gary enough to knew that he was doing a game company. And my dad thought he'd bring me along for the interview, and Gary basically, he gave me a 5-minute spiel. It stuck with me. My dad decided he didn't actually want to work for them because he didn't see any future in it.
Yeah.
And but it stuck with me. And it took until I wasn't a teenager yet, and I was a weekend with Dad, and he wasn't paying attention, and he slammed my fingers into the car door. So after some first aid, he's like, I'll buy you anything, just don't tell your mom. And so guess what I asked for? I asked for D&D, and he's like, fine. And that's where I got my first stuff. And then shortly after that, my mom, who actually liked the idea of role-playing games, got me some Star Frontier stuff that she found at a garage sale. And then with the first thing I ever bought with my own money was the 3rd edition box set for Gamma World, and it just was all uphill from there.
What a tale. Best injury ever, huh?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Back then, kids these days don't know how heavy car doors were.
Oh, gosh, no.
Nothing like a station wagon.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally different. That was steel. That was American steel.
It was a lead sled, and it sledded my hand. Yeah.
Oh,
But it
man.
still works, so hey.
There you go. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Reed. Like I said, I've been a fan for a long time, and that's why I love this show. I get to have people I really look up to come on the show and talk about how their brain works and where all this cool stuff comes from. Any words of wisdom for the budding writer or the budding artist, Reed?
Don't be overwhelmed by how much work it is, because you shouldn't be doing all of it. You should be
shouldn't
getting
doing
friends to
all of
help.
it. Yeah, that seems to be the thing, man. I've been really focusing on that lately. Ask for help.
Yep.
There's always somebody willing to contribute, and you'll get a different perspective.
Exactly.
You never, like, I think about this every single day at work. I'm never the smartest guy in the room. Nobody is. Everybody can always contribute to something. That's why I'm lucky to have the friends that I have, like Dr. Metal, like Neon Lord, like Elena Thompson, and like Reed Sanfilippo. What's the story? What's the gaming going on for the holidays, guys? Dr. Metal, what do you got in store?
I'm not sure too much. It depends on who's in town. Lately, we've been playing Star Wars.
I heard.
Extend. We played that last week. We played a little bit of a thrown together Spelljammer game,
Nice.
which has been pretty cool. That one I'm playing I'm trying to get through all the classes in 5e. 5e still has some coolness to it because there's a lot of people playing it. Playing a guy who's an aberrant sorcerer who has a mind flayer tadpole stuck in his head. So he's got a dreadlocked beard. Like if you've ever seen the bass player from Five Finger Death Punch, he was my inspiration for this guy. And he's like a pirate. So so he's like a spelljamming sorcerer with a beard that can move on its own. And
beautiful.
Yeah, it's been fun. But we're playing stuff like that. I got some stuff I want to run. I keep trying to get the little ones upstairs to play.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you with the kitty game.
We're gonna try to get a kid con together. My Rhode Island guys, all
That'll
of
be
you
good.
guys, we'll get together. Now we are bookended. We have a show coming up, and Joey, I always keep on going, and I don't want to run over because that's when Elena she gets mad, and you don't want to get Elena mad. So I'm gonna say to everybody, I love you. Happy holidays. Thank you for 12 episodes that have made me very happy that I can share all this stuff with you and all the wonderful friends I've made. Guys and gals, I can't wait for 2023. It's going to be my first con. It's going to be Cousin Marty, Dr. Metal, Levi, a bunch of other people. We're going to be up in Marlborough, Massachusetts at
Tim
the end
Deshane.
of February for Total Con.
Peter.
Tim will be there.
Tim
Yeah.
Deshane. It's going to be sick. And I can't wait to meet all of you. We'll have a couple of root beers. It'll be a great time. Happy holidays. Please stay healthy. Take care of each other. Neon Lord. I'm sorry, Cousin Marty.
Hey,
Cousin Marty.
with the
How about your
parting words.
your parting words?
Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
There it is. Straight from the donkey's mouth. Hey, that's a great one too. Dominic the Italian Christmas Donkey by Lou Monte. Okay.
No.
I love all of you. Ciao, paisans. Elena, thank you as always. You're the best. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.
Bye.